Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another Minion video for Final Fantasy XIV. Today then I have the great pleasure of bringing you one that I've been hunting for quite some time now, for a few days. Basically, this is the Save the Princess minion. Now, this one in particular is actually obtainable from inside the last chest as a guaranteed drop, basically from Delabrum Reginae on Savage mode upon completion. So you can't actually get this minion in the normal mode, 24-player Delabrum Reginae. You can only get this in the 48-player Savage. So as much as some people might find that a little bit annoying, it is market tradable. Well, currently, until recently, there was a fixed price. Apparently the people who were running Delabrum Reginae on our data center decided to agree on a price, and as a result of that, the price was pretty extortionate for quite some time. Quite clever, regardless of what you think. But now, thankfully, other people have done it, so it's accessible to people who have not done the Savage. Do I plan to do the Savage? I'm not sure, really, at this point. Usually that sort of content requiring Discords is not something I enjoy. Same goes for stuff like Baldessian Arsenal, but, you know, you never know. Never say never. We might try it. But here we go. Here's the actual minion from it, Save the Princess. It says, summon your Save the Princess minion. For every person who has ever dreamt of owning a wheeled, spindly-legged, trumpet-blowing mammoth, there is this wheeled, spindly-legged, trumpet-blowing mammoth. It says, discovered deep in Delabrum Reginae, this bizarre contraption is believed to have been modelled after a much larger, but equally bizarre contraption that once protected the ancient Bosgians from the Allegan Empire. The mystery of the trumpet, however, has yet to be solved. The hidden text says, how is our little princess doing? A quote there of Serendipity. So this then is the minion fully summoned, and I think you'll agree it's quite the alarming minion. It's not something that you ultimately don't see as you're walking around. If I was to walk around town with this thing, I'm pretty sure it would turn a few heads, mostly due to its rarity. There's not many people who have learnt this. Most people are trying to make a gill of this, as I told you before, as the price was fixed to about 30 million, up to 50 million at one point. But yeah, thankfully it's coming down now as more people thankfully get into Delabrum Reginae. I personally, I'm still on the fence whether or not I want to do it. So anyway, let's have a look at this minion close up then. What we should do is we should resummon it so that it's not just tooting in our face. There we go. And we'll reset our animations as well. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll get rid of Meoni, which I'm sure a lot of people would love to do. And then we zoom in. Perfect. There we go. And as you can see, it's quite cute. So obviously it's even got, you know, a tiny little princess where the queen would sit on the actual little saddle type chair there. We've got the little face of this guy, and then the spinny arms, like the drill arms, and then the trumpet. The more I look at this model, and indeed the one it is based off, which is the Queen model, the final boss of Delabrum Reginae, the more I think of like the Dwemer Ruins robots. You know, like if you have played Skyrim and you come across Dwemer Ruins, you go inside and these robots with spiky things. They look very much like this. Well, probably not as much of a unicycle, but that's definitely what it brings to mind for me. There's the top of that, look. It's quite a detailed model, honestly, for a minion. But yes, we've got this sort of unicycle thing going off. Personally, when I saw the model of the boss, the first thing that everybody said, including myself on our Discord, was, when are we getting this as a mount? And honestly, it's a good question. It really does look like it's mountable, you know? Especially considering you just sit there nonchalant, you're just relaxing, as this thing does all of those terrible mechanics in the fight. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's definitely one I wanted to get a hold of, this particular minion, and I'm happy I finally can for a reasonable price. But there we go. Yeah, but we'll see if I end up doing Savage, but at least this is an accessible thing that means I don't have to do it necessarily. So this minion does have interactions. As you can clearly see, nothing will happen apart from its normal idle animation with a title such as this on. So we need to change our title to the Mammotheer title, which is quite a way down now. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of titles collected recently. Here you go, the Mamateer Pet Collection title, or the Minion Master or Collector. Those will also work for just collecting minions. And if you do a handover emote, it will come and feed from your hand, as usual. And if we do ourselves a little poke emote, it will spaz about, playing its trumpet. And let's get a closer view of that in G-pose, because that's how we would do it. Go on, do the animation. There we go. It just sort of flails around playing the trumpet. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? It's kind of adorable. I quite like this one. I would probably suggest waiting a couple of more weeks before you purchase yours, because this is sure to drop down to the low millions, I would imagine, very shortly. I don't think this was necessarily worth 50 million, but people tried to fix it at. I mean, we got this about 14, 15 million in total for ours, but that was the purposes of the video. I refuse to pay more than that on my own, belief, but there we go. Anyway, let me know what you think about this minion, if you've done Delibram Savage, and if it's enjoyable, if it's accessible, or if I should just not bother. Thank you kindly for watching, and I'll see you all next time.